10 of the dumbest ways people actually died. What makes death truly ridiculous? Is it some aspect that went weirdly wrong? Or is it just some twist of bad luck? Death has to be a combination of the tragic, the comic, and the unusual. Some deaths happen at an instant, the ones that take you by surprise. These deaths can also be understandable, unless they're silly, of course, like totally mind-bogglingly dumb. These deaths mainly happen because either people are too careless or they just knowingly put themselves in a hazardous situation. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Stay Wise. In today's video, we're going to take a look at 10 of the dumbest ways people actually died. Don't forget to smash the like button and subscribe to our channel if you haven't yet. Alright then, let's dive in. Number 10, grenade selfie. There are certain things you're supposed to know not to mess with. One of those things is potentially dangerous explosives. Two men were traveling in Russia when they came across a live grenade. The grenade just happened to have the pin pulled out in this situation, which means that the grenade is armed and could explode very quickly. The reason it didn't already explode was a system malfunction. Still, it was not safe to pick up. The two men did not know that. They thought it was an excellent idea to pick up the grenade and take a selfie with it. In fact, in the middle of the photo session, the grenade blew up. And quite ironically, although the men died, the phone somehow survived and was thus used as evidence to demonstrate how the men died. Many people are taking pictures with loaded weapons and other ammunition. They think it would make a cool shot, but it may take their lives. Number 9, Michael Godwin. He was initially sentenced to death, but then a change in his sentencing came in, and he was given the punishment of life imprisonment, a change in good fortune. Or at least it should have been. Living in his cell was fine until one day he realized that the TV he had in it wasn't working. He examined and eventually realized it was a lousy wire. After taking a look at the situation, he felt the best option was to cut the wire with his teeth. And this wasn't very wise on many levels. The least of which was a live wire, and it was full of electricity, and thus he was electrocuted. But technically, that was not the end of the story. And there was a possibility that he might not have been killed by electrocution from the live wire. But the repair he was doing via a metal toilet amped up the power of the electric current that killed him. Number 8, how not to get away with bee murder. In 2002, a farmer in Brazil went to his property and discovered a large beehive waiting for him. Bees can be very dangerous and potentially fatal, so caution was therefore necessary, and he did just that. The man realized that he needed to shield himself from the bees' stings, and so used fire to get rid of the hive, which was a reasonable idea. He went in ready to burn off the bees, but his idea of defending himself was to place a plastic bag over his head and close it to the top. The problem here is, a plastic bag wouldn't stop bee stings, and it seems that this man didn't know it. But it sure gets worse because he forgot about having to breathe. He didn't put any holes in the bag so oxygen could get through, and he ended up suffocating while the bees were very much alive. Number 7, backwards thinking. Driving is risky and things can happen if you don't think it through. Even an act as straightforward as parking. An Australian woman forgot something pretty significant one day to put her car in the park, which cost her big. So how did this happen? She was on her way to the grocery store. She wanted to check whether she had plastic bags. So she pulled over, got out of the car and searched the trunk, but it was a mistake. Since the car was not in park, it began to roll back right as she was behind it, thereby knocking her down and running her over, killing the woman. There is no doubt about the fact that it was not how she planned the day. Number 6, game over. Due to its fast and widespread broadband network, multiplayer gaming in South Korea is trendy. Gamers and professional players are treated like sports stars as well as paid. Professional gamers draw massive sponsorship amounts and can earn more than $100,000 a year. But that's not what happens when it comes to Lee's case. After allegedly playing an online video game for 50 hours, with just a few breaks, a South Korean man named Lee died. He collapsed after playing a game on an internet cafe in the city of Daegu. During this marathon session, He did not eat or sleep, and the only break he took was to go to the bathroom. If you can see the problem with this, then you know where this is going. Because after playing for those 50 hours without taking care of his body, he died. Doctors said it was a mix of heart failure and exhaustion that caused his sudden death. Number 5, lava lamp bomb. There are several ways to decorate a room, but lava lamps are ubiquitous with individuals. But when obtaining them first and heating them, there are specific laws to obey. Above all, do it slowly. 24-year-old Philip Quinn, who had put a lava lamp on a hot stove, was killed when it blew up and sent a glass shard into his heart. At his Kent trailer house, Philip Quinn's parents found his body. Quinn reportedly staggered into his bedroom after the lamp exploded, where he died. Number 4, do you hear something? The idea of stuff falling out of the sky to destroy you is not new. However, without knowing that it's a helicopter bearing down on you, it's something you would not want to be killed by. However, a student in the area was killed in British Columbia when a helicopter crashed into the ground and killed him. The obvious question that must be answered here is why he hasn't seen or heard anything. The answer is that he wasn't in the right direction, and he also had headphones on with real loud volume. The people in the helicopter were dead too, and the entire incident was a bizarre one. Words of advice, guys, don't put your headphones on in full volume when you walk. Number 3, clean sweep. As it used to be, a chimney is not a feature in homes in today's day and age. This is because of new heating facilities, and they're a real pain when it comes to cleaning. On one fateful afternoon in Croatia on 13 January 2005, 55-year-old Marko retreated to his semi-detached workshop to make himself a chimney cleaning tool. The chimney was too high for a simple broom to operate, but that would do the trick if he could tie a brush to a chain and then weigh it down with something. But what was he willing to use as a weight? He happened to have an object that was fine. It was heavy and yet it was compact. And the best thing about it was that it was made of metal, so he could weld it to the chain. He must have somehow ignored the fact that it was also a hand grenade and was loaded with explosive material. Marko turned his welding apparatus on and started to create an arc between the grenade and the chain. The grenade exploded as the metal heated up. The force of the explosion instantly killed poor Marko. He didn't really think through his plan. Number 2, getting big air. Kite surfing is a respected adventure in which people use kites to skate across the water and sometimes get massive air. The thing you have to look out for is its massive wind currents. During a particularly windy day, ports told surfers to stay off the oceans, but many, including Adrian Manoyer, refused and thus went kite surfing. While he was surfing, he was dragged across the sea at speeds of around 100 miles per hour when he was lifted high into the air by a gale force gust on his board. Adrian soared into the air over Saint-Jean-de-Luz in southwestern France. He would hit many buildings with his body, including a massive hotel. And finally, being separated from his kite, he would fall from his death from 50 feet up. It could have been avoided if he listened to the authorities. Number 1, stay in the vehicle. When you go on a safari, one of the most important rules is to not leave the vehicle at any point unless specifically told. This is for the safety of both the people and the animals. But 2 elderly German tourists at a Spanish safari decided not to listen to the many warnings that were put across the safari park, and they got out of the vehicle to go enjoy the animals more. As soon as they got out of the car, a group of tigers pounced upon them and killed them both. As they didn't obey the rules, the price they had to pay for that was their lives.